sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a single episode of Pour Your Heart Out, Black Women's Honest Conversations. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. Get comfortable and get ready to pour your heart out.
Hey, we're live. Hey, what can I say? We're live. Forgot to unmute that mic. Let's try this again. Hello. Welcome to another episode of Pour Your Heart Out, Black Women's Honest Conversations. It's your girl, Nene, and I am super excited for our very first Sip Happens conversation. This is our Bottomless conversation where, us ladies, we just get on here and we just talk about some different things that are going on today, and it's actually an open conversation, open discussion. So if you want to join us on the panel, feel free to hit that link. It is going to be dropped in just a second. Feel free to hit that link and join us as we pour our heart out and do some sipping. All right. So I am going to bring one of our favorites from the panel of Pour Your Heart Out and the Straight Talk Society, period. I'm going to bring my girl Shaka on here really quickly. So, hey girl, now you're muted. What an evening.
Like you said, we live, shit happens. My bad. But hey y'all.
Unmute yourself. What's up?
Living the life.
Just being fabulous, right?
Yes.
Hey, Tequila. And we have another guest that's going to join us. I'm going to wait and make sure that she's ready to hop on. But I'm going to real quick throw the link up in the chat. If anybody wants to join us up on this panel, it's our very first open discussion, so feel free to hop on in and pour your heart out. All right, so I'm going to drop that link in the comments. Tequila, girl, I texted you the link earlier too. If you want to join us, go ahead and hop on here. So again, this is our first Sip Happens, where we just talk about whatever is going on right now. How do you feel about this, Shaka?
I'm ready. I'm
You
ready.
ready?
Let's go. Let's
You
talk.
stay ready, right? All right. The first thing I want us to talk about, because you know I'm a teacher, currently in year 19. Oh my gosh, can't believe it's been 19 years. And one thing that I've been seeing in the news a lot and have actually been experiencing firsthand is
Mhm.
this issue with these students not being able to keep their hands to themselves, and teachers having to lay hands on some of these kids. So we're going to talk about that first. All right, let's talk about these students and them not being able to keep them hands to themselves. Now, on one end, we have adults, saying that,
Mhm.
it's a child. It doesn't matter how old they are. It doesn't matter what you do. As a teacher, as an adult, you should be able to control yourself and blah, blah, blah. And me being an adult, I get that. I get that. But also, again, I've been experiencing this firsthand. And some of these kids are my size and bigger.
Oh yeah, they
So
don't make they don't make the kids like they used to. Mm-mm.
it's hard for me in my mind, being a human, I'm a human before I'm a teacher, to say, okay, I have to, like, okay, you hit me, you run up on me, I have to, oh no, you're a student. Your first instinct is you are going to defend, you are going to react. But then there's the issue again. I'm an adult, or they're an adult, and then these are kids. And you are a
Mm.
parent. You're not an educator, but you are a parent. So tell me,
Correct.
how do you feel about that, this whole thing with the students and the teachers and the fighting and all of this?
I mean, I agree with you when it comes to I'm a human first. I'm a mom first before I can rationally, clearly think of, oh, this is a kid. Let me, not react, the way that I'm supposed to react. But
Mhm.
in the heat of the moment, in the, midst of it all, it's real hard to separate the two. So I've never had an issue with my daughter, of course, putting her hands on a teacher. But just like you said, to hear it in the news, it's so frequent now. It's like every time you turn around. And then on top of that, you end up hearing now where they're thinking about, having teachers armed with weapons and things like that. So before I even get onto the weapon thing, let me go back. I don't know that I could be an educator because I feel like I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna fight your kid. I'm sorry. I'm gonna fight your child. Put their hand. I
It
wouldn't
takes a
tell.
special person.
It does. It does. And I'm not that person. Say what you want. I'm just being honest. If my child, were to tell me, and it's not even the kid hitting the teacher. It could just be, what if she was just in the classroom and something popped off and now the teacher trying to defend his or herself and now my child and got hit. Now who do I go after? The teacher and or the student? Probably. Yeah, I'm going after everybody. It's my kid. I'm a mama bear first. So I can't say that, oh no, it's a child, I wouldn't hit them. But when my daughter, who's 23, when she was in school, I guess I would say elementary school probably wasn't a big deal for me. So, okay, it was a little bit of the teacher grabbed me, da, 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 okay, we'll talk about it. Middle school, yeah, I was, we're going to
You're
knuck if
ready
you
to put
buck.
the paws
I ain't even
on.
gonna lie, cause at that age, I feel like they are feeling themselves, they smelling themselves, like the old folks used to say. They are, and a lot of children, I realize, lack discipline. They lack having that, parental guidance that's going to keep them on the straight and narrow. Like they have zero respect for elders. And some people, even in our generation, even though someone, we're in our 40s, it could be someone that's in their 60s or their 70s, and I see people being disrespectful, So, but I just feel like it's less respect now from this generation than it is
I
from our
definitely agree
generation.
with that.
So I could, it starts at home. Whether mom, dad, grandmother, aunt, uncle, doesn't matter who got the kid, who's there. I just feel like it starts at home. And sometimes you can instill into your child, the right things. But these kids want to listen to their friends or see something on social media and they want to do, oh, I want to do what they're doing. I want to do this, F this and F that, and I don't give a damn, and da 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 da. And then you have to deal with the repercussions and the consequences of your actions. But ultimately, if I were a teacher and a kid put their hand on me, I'm gonna put my hand back on that kid. That's just me.
Give them back.
Nuck if you buck.
I like something that you mentioned because you said the respect today is not what it was, when we were growing up. And you are absolutely right. I remember being in elementary school, and it would be this one child maybe in the class that was just like, ugh. It was this one child that they had to control. But now it's like it's normal. And it's like it's in multiple classes. You'll see those children that are, and children aren't going to be perfect, and I understand that, but there's a difference between a kid being a kid and a kid just being downright disrespectful, and it's becoming a norm now. As I've been teaching over the years, I want to say over the past 5 to 6 years, it's gotten a lot worse. And the sad thing is that they're given that pass because they're just a kid. And then they continue to go along in their school years. And then, as you can see, like in a video that was shown a few weeks ago, they're in middle school and high school now bucking up at these teachers. But a lot of times that starts in elementary school. I've been in elementary school 18 of my 19 years, and I'm seeing it. It starts in elementary school, and they're not being held accountable, the students or the parents. In some cases, it needs to be the parents. And then something major happens, like the Parkland.
Not even before that. Think about that, not to cut you off, I'm sorry, but that 6-year-old who shot the teacher.
Yes. Stuff like that happens. And then they're like, but they're just a baby, but 6 years old shooting a teacher,
because she took something from him.
Right. Right. Because she took something from him. And it's like, they're not taking this stuff seriously. And I don't need them passing a bill for me to be able to carry at work. I don't want to have to do that. I'm not a police officer. Like, much respect to them, because they are going into a job prepared to deal with stuff like that. I'm going in there to teach you how to read, not to have to pack and like defend myself against you. And it's ridiculous. Like,
it is.
That's not what
I smile and I laugh, but not like ha funny. You know what I mean? It's scary. It's so scary that I remember having. I think Alani had her phone taken in either it was middle school or no, I think it was actually her freshman year in high school. And of course, she needs to have her phone because I need to be in contact with her. But also, you have to follow the rules. And I feel like a lot of the fights that I've been seeing on social media from like the high school and some of these middle school students is based upon the teacher took my phone, or the teacher, saw me on my phone and told me to give it to them. And I told them it's my phone. If y'all in middle school, I'm pretty sure you're not paying the phone bill. So in my house, the rule was this is my cell phone that I allow you to use. And when I want my phone, when I want to do a phone check, you give it to me. The moment you flinch, the moment you act like you got to get rid of some stuff or clear some things out, you lose that phone. It's simple. Now, when the teacher did take her phone, he said to her, you can get it back at the end of the day. However, she caught the bus to school. So for us, because she was a competitive cheerleader, it was very crunch. She got out of school at like 4:20 and the buses were there by 4:30. She had to be at practice by 6:00, right? So she goes to school on the other side of town, all the way west. I'm getting off work. I don't have time to go out, pick her up if she misses the bus. But in this instance, the teacher refused to give it back to her. He said, you just have to get it tomorrow. And she was like, you don't want my mom to come out here. If my mom has to come, well, your mother's going to have to come get this phone. So I'm texting, nothing. So the next day I went to go get the phone, and needless to say, that teacher was just like, yeah, Alani warned me about not right. You should have listened, sir. But again, not in a disrespectful way. But my point is, it's not your cell phone, right? I'm pretty sure you didn't buy this phone. Your parent bought the phone, or whatever guardian bought the phone. And for these kids to be so disrespectful and say, oh, you took something from me. Like, I think I saw something on social media where I don't know if it was a substitute or if it was the actual teacher that took the phone, and the little girl maced the teacher after she said, give it back to me, and he refused. She maced him. Right.
No.
Yes.
First off, why does she have mace in school? Wow.
We could keep it going. Why you got Mace? Why nobody has taken it from her? Why do you feel that? And then the man actually left the classroom, and she followed him out of the classroom and maced this man
See,
in the hall.
they're
I don't know.
disrespectful. Like Lem said, children aren't taught or held accountable for their actions. And you are absolutely correct, Lem. That is the problem. And a lot of
Yeah.
times too, they're mimicking what they see their parents doing. Because their parents are
Yes.
coming out to the schools and they're ready to buck up at the teacher and fight the
Yes.
administrators and
Mhm.
disregard the rules. And that's what they are teaching. That's what they're
The
teaching their children.
kids.
So I see my mama bucking up at my teacher or threatening my teacher, then I'm going to do the same thing because they know nothing's going to happen. Wow.
What I was
I
taught
can't believe she
was,
faced
yeah, and if you go back, if I go back to when I was brought up, I was brought up, yes, to respect your elders, but also do as I say, not as I do.
him. Yeah.
So even if my mama is bucking up, that's my mom who can buck up, not me.
That doesn't mean I'm going to go do it as well.
Right.
Tammy, I see you're in the back. Let me know in the private chat if your connection is good and you're ready to hop on. All right. So yes, the students fighting the teachers, like something needs to be done, and it's not going to stop until the children or their parents get some
Mhm.
type of consequences and accountability. Maybe if it's on the parents, they'll get a little bit harder on their children about, just showing respect. Like, okay, the teacher takes
Yes.
something from you, you let your parent deal with that. Like, I wish Leah
Yes.
would.
Yes.
You let your parent deal with that, and then and then like you mentioned something as well, like our even if it's not our child fighting the teacher, our children are in the classrooms with these children and having to deal with this, and we're sending them there to get an education, but they have to deal with watching the students acting crazy. And unfortunately,
Mhm.
that's something that Leia has had to deal with this year with
Mm.
certain students in her classrooms, like second
Mhm.
grade. Like,
Mhm.
she's been having to deal with that, not happening to her, but just watching it happen
Yes.
to the teacher. Hey, Tammy, are you on?
Hi, I am. I am
Hey.
on. I had to get out and come back in.
All right. Is something going on with your mic though?
Oh, let me see. See this. Our phones are sweat. Can you hear me okay?
No, you're popping. It's like staticky.
I don't
Y'all
know
need to get
what's
some
going
Android. Get some
on.
Samsung.
Don't do that. Oh yeah, she
Don't
got
do
an
that.
iPhone or Android.
I have an iPhone.
Get you a Samsung.
So I'm like all over the place. I'm like running upstairs, downstairs, the better connection in here. Oh my God.
Aw.
See, go out and see if you can get back in, because the first time that you were in, you sounded good, but now it's like really static and popping.
Okay, I'm gonna try.
All right. Let me see. All right. I'm looking over at the comments. They are,
Mhm.
that's right, Tequila. All right. So Lim says it's not always bad parenting, which I do agree with that. The parents, many times, I'm a two-parent home. These kids still act out of pocket. It's a choice that these kids make to act out, not always the parents' fault. I do agree with that. I do agree
I
with
can
that
agree with
because I
that.
have
Yeah.
seen some kids where, and I know that they have good parents. They have good parents,
Yes.
but something Shaka mentioned, they're trying to fit in with the crowd of the other children, and just trying
Mhm.
to. Sometimes it's just about I just want to be my own person and I want to do my own thing. So unfortunately, we do have to deal with that. But the schools do have to do a better job with providing consequences or something to these students, because that is a problem, that the children have more support. And I'm speaking from experience. The children have more support and backup than the teachers do. So it's like our
Mhm.
hands are tied. And the children know that. I have heard
Mhm.
a third grader this year tell his teacher, if I kick you in your face, you can't do anything about it, right? As she's sitting down, he's standing over her, and he said this to her: if I kick you in your face, you can't do anything about it. If I slap you right now, you can't do anything about it. And
Jesus,
legally
Jesus,
with
take
the
the wheel.
school, can't. Or if he were to do that, she couldn't, or she would be going getting in trouble. And these children know that. They know that we can't do anything. And that is what the problem is. They have more support than we do. And I go
So
over a little bit because this kind of leads to something that you kind of got into. You're talking about the phones, that being a problem. Because a lot of times what I'm noticing also is that they're doing, like the girl that was fighting her teacher. How do we know about that? Because of that phone being put on social media. And I think a lot of times, I'm not saying that social media is awful, because I feel that in this day and age, it's like an important part of our life. But I feel
absolutely.
that it plays some role in some of these problems, because they're trying to do stuff just so they can put it on Instagram and just so they can put it on TikTok. What do you think about that?
I feel like it's hard to say, because here's the thing. When we were growing up, we didn't have cell phones, right? So whatever we did, it was, everybody heard about it by word of mouth. You know what I mean? It was,
Right.
or, it was rumored or whatever. Like if you weren't there to actually see it, then you heard about it. You didn't see
Right.
it. You just heard about it. So I feel like it's not necessarily, I mean, it's nothing new under the sun, right? So because there's nothing new under the sun, it's just different ways of these children trying to impress whomever. Because again, they see whoever do this on the social media, and now they want to recreate it, or mimic it. But back in our day, when we would watch Yo MTV Raps, when we would watch, and I'm dating myself, when we would watch whatever we would see on TV, BET late night, or whatever, we were doing the same things, wearing these weird clothes, and doing these strange hairstyles. And not everything you see on TV is meant for everyday life. But again,
Right.
I feel like it starts at home. We didn't. My daughter has had a cell phone since she was 5 years old. Okay, and there's been different stages of the cell phone, but she's had a cell phone since she was 5. And when she used to watch television, I would sometimes watch with her. She thought, "Oh, yay, mommy's watching my show, Disney Channel, with me. Yeah, it's great. Mommy's watching it because I want to see what you're absorbing, what you're picking up. Because, kids are sponges, right? So for me, I feel like it may not necessarily be the answer of taking the cell phone away from the children, but it may be more of monitoring what your kids are watching. Set these parental restrictions on their phones. I don't care. I'm not trying to tell anybody how to raise their kid, to each his own. But at the same time, you know your child better than anybody, right? Like, I know Leia, but I don't know Leia like you know Leia. You understand? You know Alani, but you don't know Alani like I know Alani. You see what I'm saying? So one may get
Right.
over on me, the other one may not necessarily get over on you, or vice versa. But I feel like if you watch or put these guidance, or even talk to your kids, even if they go on, like there was an instance years ago when my daughter was cheering, and one of the girls that was younger than her by like maybe 4 or 5 years. So at the time, I think Alani may have been 15 and this child may have been like 10. I forget the app that was out. Was it Musically? I think is what it was called. And the kids would get on, and
Yeah,
you
I
can,
remember that out.
remember. Okay, so it was Musically, and I remember this little girl, cute young little girl. She would put on her cheer makeup, so these bright red lips, and she would get on there at 10, and she would be dancing to whatever Nicki Minaj or whomever was out at the time, or whatever song, and she popping and dropping and doing all these things. Mom and dad knew that she had Musically, the app, but they didn't know what she was doing on Musically. So when my daughter showed it to me, I said, "This is not appropriate." I went to her mother and I said, "Listen, I'm not trying to tell you how to, raise your child, or what you allow in your home. That's your business. However, I didn't know if you were aware of this or unaware of this. I just want to bring it to your attention. Now, what you do with this information, that's your business, right? But it takes a village to raise a child, I feel. So if the tables were turned, and that's how I looked at it, if it were me in this situation, would I want someone to come tell me about my kid? Absolutely. So I don't necessarily think removing the cell phone from the children is the answer, but maybe monitor what your kids are doing. Talk to them about what they can and can't do. Because on this app, yes, she's 10, yes, she's dancing, maybe not a big deal. She dances for cheer, but there are grown men on this app. There are not even grown men. There are pedophiles, period, on this app that are watching this little girl, doing these grown up things. So have a conversation with your kids, not just say, no, you can't do it because I said so. Have the conversation so they understand.
Why? Exactly. That's the thing about my child. She'll be quick. I can say no. She'll be quick. Well, why, Mom? And then I used to be like, because I used to have that because I said so. But then I started realizing she's inquisitive. She wants to know, and it's important that she does know. So that she's like, Mommy just said no just because. So she'll understand, and then she can eventually, hopefully, start making that decision herself. Like, no, I shouldn't because of this. Trevor says that's a problem too, the over sexualizing of these cheerleaders. Yeah.
Well,
because I know your daughter was in cheer, and
we did. So there's two different styles, right? There's two different types. You have your rec cheer, and then you have your competitive cheer. And I'm not saying one is better than the other. To each his own. What works best for you and your kid and your family and whoever. But I don't necessarily think that a lot of the stuff is over sexualizing. It's kids being kids. I mean, some of their outfits, can be grown, but like we said and stated in the very beginning, they don't make these kids like they used to. My 10-year-old niece, I'm 5'3", and she look at me in my eyes at 10. Right, you remember my baby, right? She is looking me in my eyes at 10, okay? So I feel like it doesn't matter if it's a cute little crop top and some shorts, because if your child isn't, shapely, then it's just going to look like a crop top and some shorts. But if your child got a little bit of hip like mama or daddy, or got a little bit of whatever, that's just how it's going to be. Exactly. So I can't say that I get where he's coming from, because I'm not going to lie. There's been some dance routines that I've seen, and I'm like, I scratch my head. Because it's a bit much, but it's not everything. But honestly, it doesn't matter what these kids do. Somebody's going to find something over-sexualized about it anyway. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think, I don't know. It just depends on the parent. It depends on what you instill in your child. Because just because your child is doing a dance routine doesn't mean that they're going to be outside of that dance routine in school, popping and dropping and, doing all these things. I just don't think it always works that way. But it's a part of dance. It's a part of, what if this child wants to become a professional dancer? Like, if your kid is in dance, you learn different styles, because that's how you get to the next one. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, I get what you're saying, Trevor, but I'm biased on that. Like, I can go either way.
I think for him and for dads, it's more about not so much always about, well, if she starts and now that's what she's gonna grow up to be like this. I'm sure that's a concern of theirs too. But I think too, it's just that the idea of how, like you said, some of these pedophiles and these older men looking at them, they're being innocent and doing their dancing and stuff, but then you have
you have that adult,
which is really a problem on them. But I think that's more of what it is.
Yeah, I mean, and that conversation can go like, whatever way. Like, I can honestly say, like, my child was, she was out there dancing because it was a part of the dance routine or the cheer or whatever. But at the same time, when I tell you that she was still a very innocent kid up until she was a senior in high school, honestly. Like, the things I would see, I ain't gonna put a business out there, but, I was just like, wow, you still doing that at 17? Huh, interesting. Okay. I mean, I'm not mad at it, but, when I was 17, I was grown. Y'all couldn't tell me nothing. At 17, I knew everything there was to know about life. I was grown. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yes, you were.
These people don't know me. These people don't know me.
Say 17, so I was what, 15? I was
right.
I saw it.
Right. I remember. Do you remember our instructors telling me that I need to leave you alone because I'm going to ruin your future?
Bad influence on me.
Look at her, Mary. Where y'all at, instructors? Huh? What is y'all?
They were asking me, why why am I in the 9th grade hanging out with these 11th and 12th graders?
Because we were fun. We was lit. We was having a ball.
Y'all gave me life my first 2 years in high school.
Could you imagine high school without me being a part of it? Like,
I hadn't made new friends after y'all left. That's why
I know,
my
right?
senior year, I didn't have no seniors in my class to hang out with because I wasn't hanging with them.
I didn't know them.
Junior, y'all was hanging with y'all.
Same thing. So my friend, I always hung out with the seniors, the juniors, I was always thought as an upperclassman in high school. Then when it became my senior year, I was like, I don't know none of these people.
I had to hang out with the younger folks then.
Good times.
I have my group going. What am I gonna do?
Right.
All right, Trevor giving a shout out to the state for instituting the death penalty on pedophiles. They were actually talking about that on the radio, and some of them were saying that they don't agree that they should get the death penalty because that's not punishment enough for them.
You know, because I am. Here's the thing. Absolutely. If I agree with the death penalty, when it comes to what if it were your kid, right? What if it were your child who was sexually assaulted by an adult, right? Are you still going to be, I don't agree with the death penalty. They're not serving it enough. No, because if you don't kill them, I'm going to kill them. They going to die. He, she, whomever, they going to die.
So keep me from going to jail by taking care of it for me.
Correct. However, my issue with the death penalty is I can agree when they say, oh, it's not enough. It's because if we're talking lethal injection, right, in the state of Florida, literally they put you to sleep before they actually give you that fatal,
so you're not
So I understand, it's not enough for them. But I honestly feel like pedophiles, I feel like it should depend. It should depend on, I guess, what they did. Because if it were an 18-year-old senior in high school who's dating a sophomore who may be 15, parents don't like it. They now, press charges against this adult, even though it's just a kid in high school who hasn't graduated yet. And let's say the little girl, let's say it's a boy who's 18 and the girl's 15, and she decides that, I don't care what my parents say. I don't care what the law says. We're going to be together, right? And now he's, let's say, working, and now he's 19, but he has moved this 15, now 16-year-old in with him, and she's run away from home, and all these things have happened. And now, let's say, whatever, she gets upset. Now he's a registered sex offender because now, let's say she wants to press charges. Maybe he cheated on her. I don't know, whatever the scenario could be. But I don't think a person like that should get the death penalty, right? Should they do some time? Maybe depending on, what the charges are they found him guilty of or them guilty of, then yeah. But then you have these people out here who are really doing for real detrimental sexual things to children.
Right.
Yeah. I feel like they need to die. That's just me. They gotta go. They gotta go.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when I first heard it on the radio. Me being a parent, and God forbid if something like that would happen, I'm like, absolutely. But it's always that, case by case type thing. And I don't know how easy it is to throw that label on somebody, like the example that you just gave, like an 18-year-old and a 15 or 16-year-old, and so I think trying to be fair and logical.
And it's hard.
Yeah. Wow, I'm looking at what they're saying in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
So Lim is agreeing case by case. Yeah. I did not know though that in the state of Florida that you're put to sleep first. So I didn't know that.
Yep, they give you whatever injection first, and basically they give you whatever injection first, and it basically knocks you out, and then you get the lethal dose, and it stops your heart basically. So it's like, Yeah, it's not like how, I forget what the electric chair was called. Well, old Glory, old Faithful, old Lightning, or somebody. But, that was, if you go back to the Green Mile and you think about that movie, then you're like, ooh, they was suffering. They was really getting it. Yeah, now it's just kind of like they just lay there and with their arm out and they all strapped down. Any last words? Nope. You get one, they sleep. Next thing you know, okay, and that's that.
Oh wow.
Like if you did something to my kid, you did something to my family,
Exactly. I
like I'm
want
gonna
you
need
to
more than that.
suffer. I want
Right, something. Cause I agree, that is
you to
too easy, but
suffer.
that's just me. Yeah,
Because
right,
my
that's just
child would
me.
have
But
to live.
you're freezing.
Child have to live with that for the rest of their life. So are you a fan of the Dwayne Wade and the Gabrielle Union? Are you fans of theirs?
I'm a fan of Dwayne Wade. Gabby, I am lately
Wait,
because
wait a
she
minute.
apparently
Why you smile like
no,
that when you say his name?
because it's Dwayne Wade and like it's Dwayne Wade. A shout out to Dwayne. Hey,
Your
Dwayne.
whole demeanor just changed.
Yes, because it's Dwayne Wade, and yeah, yeah. As a heater playing
Okay.
currently, even though I know he's not on the team anymore, but still, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, his wife was recently doing an interview, and they've been
Why
talking.
you had to say? Why you had to say his
I
wife?
mean, that
You could have just said
lady.
Gabrielle.
I'm sorry. Well,
No, I love
Gabrielle,
her.
she
I
was.
love her. I love her. She cool. She cool. I love her.
Oh, pause. I can't focus. She's actually
That's
about
okay.
to be in a movie coming up on
Ooh,
Netflix, and it looked like it's gonna be real, real good. So we're gonna have to check that out.
okay, I'm down.
But yeah, she dating a younger man in the movie.
Oh, oh,
But she
oh.
recently did an interview, and they've been talking about it on quite a few of the radio stations this week,
Mhm,
where she was
mhm,
basically saying that she and Dwayne, they split their bills 50-50. He makes way
mm,
more than she does, but they split everything 50-50. And I think I didn't get to hear everything, but a piece of it was because she comes from that, she has that mentality like
mhm,
you have to pay, you have to work, or
mhm,
just you gotta hustle and grind and pay your
mhm,
own way, kind of.
mhm.
But the big argument that's going on, because we like being all up in other people's business who really don't care about
Right,
us.
right, right,
All on the radio stations, like, why is she having to pay 50-50
right.
when he makes way more than she does? And, why can't, married people, they're supposed to have, one checking account and everything comes from out of that, and you shouldn't have your own this and that. And you, girl.
Okay, so they gonna always have something to say. Whoever they are, they gonna always have something to say. I feel like what works best for your relationship, do that. Tammy,
I
Hi.
hey,
Can you guys hear me okay?
woo!
Yes, you sound great.
I had
So
to switch over to my laptop because I was like,
I love you,
my phone's
Tammy.
not
Tammy
working.
said, I am not giving up. I'm gonna get on
right,
this thing.
right, get it, girl, get it. But I feel like if it works for you, then let that work for you. I mean, I have been in relationships where I have had to do nothing, wrist broken, and I'm just sitting there, and all I got to do is look pretty and be a cute little passenger princess and eat my snackies while they do all the driving, and I could just be cute and listen and sing, R&B music to my man, and that's just what it is. But I've also been in relationships where it has been 50-50. We split everything down the middle. I've also been in a relationship where we were good, and then he actually lost his job, and as a woman, that's my man, I'm going to support him, and everything fell on me. I was able to handle it, but even when he got back on his feet, he still only paid the bare minimum. And again, it worked for us. So it just depends on, I feel like it depends on your relationship. So if you want to listen to those people, and if you are a hardcore believer that, the man should do everything and I just do whatever it is that a woman's supposed to do, then so be it. If you feel like, you want to do 50-50 with your man and have your own personal bank account, then so be it. Do that. If you want to be the one that take care of everything, and maybe he's the at-home dad, and you're the one out working the 9 to 5 or the 10 to 12 or whatever the shifts are, then so be it. But it's again, let's go back to what we were talking about last week. It's your prerogative. Do what you want to do. Like, why is it your business? It's my preference as a female to have to do what I want to do, whether I want to wear a wig or not. Okay. I'm kidding. It was kidding. It was a joke, guys. It was a joke. It was a joke. It was a joke.
I actually agree. Like, I believe both sides. Like, I'm biased on both. I mean, because I don't understand why people put so much attention with it. It's their money. It's their business. So if a woman wants to pay majority of it, go ahead. If he wants to pay majority of it, go ahead. I mean, they're both agreeing together to make it work. So let them make it work. But paparazzi and TMZ, they always got to bring light into the smallest thing and make it a big deal. But like Shaka was saying, if he wants to pay, if I'm down, like if I'm like out and about and I'm down and I'm hurt and he picks up, okay, you guys brought it together to the table. It's not like, okay, I'm in this by myself. You guys are together in a relationship. So you have my back, I have yours. Until we can't have each other's anymore. But
I agree.
I like the waves though. I like the waves.
That's what I'm talking about.
I
you
agree.
have my back, I have yours, and that's
right.
it.
But then I also feel like sometimes. Oh, go ahead, Nene.
No, go ahead. I'm about to read this comment. Go ahead.
Oh, because I feel like sometimes we we pick and choose when we want to be, the man and when we want to be the female. You know what I mean? Like, make it make sense. I can't date all around and do all these different things because then you're going to be considered, you acting like a dude, and why would a woman want to be a dude? But then it's okay for me to pay half and half to go 50-50, right?
Exactly.
So,
right.
You can't pick what works for you. Like in an instance, like when people want to pick out certain Bible verses because, it say when a man findeth a wife, he findeth a good thing. But then it's like, I proposed to my husband because, he just took too long. So I had to go out and you can't pick and choose what works for you. So, or you can't get on the right, what Bible verse you want. So it is what it is. But ultimately, I feel like if it works for you in your relationship, do that. Do all the things that work for y'all.
Do what works for both of you guys versus someone else's opinion and feelings.
Right.
So yeah,
I agree.
Exactly.
Yep.
I'm looking at this comment Trevor put. He said, you ever notice common people always try to fit in rich people's world? Their 50-50 doesn't look like our 50-50. That part.
Rockefeller Williams, my grandfather, may he rest in peace, always said, act your age. Why are you trying to keep up with the Joneses when you did not, you don't have the amount of money that the Joneses have? What am I trying to go out and say they got up a white picket fence, so now I got to go out and put me up a white picket fence, knowing I can't afford the white, well, it's a fence now, but I'm going to paint it white when I get paid next week because I got the first check got to go towards rent the condo, and then on the 15th I got to make sure I pay the daycare, and then, but I'm going to get my white fence. So yeah, Jones, look, I got a white fence too. Like, I could care less what you got. Like, I don't care. I don't care. But people, I feel like we keep trying to put on and show out for other people instead of acting your wage. Know your wage. Act it.
I need to make that a shirt. Act your wage.
Yes, you do. Yes, yes, you do.
Put your granddaddy's name up under that.
Thank you. Rockefeller. Mm-hmm.
Rockefeller. I like that. But that's something that I'm noticing. It's like we worrying about what the Wades are doing, like they taken care of. And I don't know Gabrielle like personally, but she seemed like the type where she could speak up for herself, and if it was a problem with her paying half, she would have that conversation with him. But we worried about this and then going into joint banking accounts, and that's my thing. You do what works for you and your relationship, your household.
Correct.
As long as bills are paid, like it really shouldn't matter whose account it's coming out of, his or mine or the joint banking account.
Right.
I like that. Wage.
Act it, please.
All right. I see Breezy trying to come up in here.
Breezy.
I know.
Oh, wait. Hi, Bridget.
No.
I'm in the
Always
dark.
single. Girl, you just got the living life.
I'm looking for.
She always
I,
outside.
I can't let. I know, right? I'm just
There
leaving
she
my
goes.
stepson's football game, so I'm on the road, but I'm here. Hi, y'all.
Hey,
Out there being a
girl.
good mama.
I got right. I got to be back in the dark though. What y'all talking about? What I missed?
That's all right. That's all right. That's all right.
Girl, we've been all over the place. Right now we're talking about how us common folks on the radio worrying about Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade paying their bills 50-50, and they're saying that she shouldn't be paying 50-50 because he made more than her. And then that went on to them talking about how married people should have joint banking accounts as opposed to separate accounts. And you know how us folks are. They were talking about that on the Breakfast Club and on the show on Hot 105.
I heard the Breakfast Club interview, and the people with all the money were like, "Oh no, my wife doesn't pay anything, and I do this and I do this." Listen, that works for y'all. That's 100% fine. I don't even care one bit what them people split. Whatever works for their household, that's exactly what they need to do.
Yep.
Exactly, it works for their household.
Yep.
Juju.
I might be.
Juju just.
I might be a little salty if I had to split my money.
Say it again, Bridget.
I might be a little salty if I had to split the bills with a billionaire. I might be a little salty, but I'm not in the tax bracket to care right now.
Right.
Bridget says she's gonna mind her wage.
Right. But when we get there, Bridget, then we can revisit this conversation.
So Trevor, when you become a millionaire, I'm not splitting the bills with you when you're a millionaire.
Correct.
No, I don't think I would want to do that. I truly don't think I would want to do that.
Yeah.
But I think she said because they take care of other households as well, so she doesn't feel like it should just be his money covering everything when they're taking care of other things. And I know she didn't want to speak on the fact that he has another household that he's taking care of with the child, the break baby. I don't know if that's rude to call it a break baby, but that's what she called it.
Well, that's what the baby is. They was on a break and he had it, so I guess it is a break baby.
Right. And I know she helps financially take care of her family and stuff too. So I don't know. Whatever works.
Whatever works for your household, and if they have a problem with it, they can have that conversation amongst themselves.
Right. I'm sure
Oh,
what we did? What we did?
Hey, boss man, are we in trouble, boss man?
Right, what we did? Oh, we didn't curse. We didn't. We was giving props to the men. What we did? Nothing.
Don't we go to timeout?
Right.
Up here looking like the father.
Hey, boss, we can't hear you.
Oh, I didn't know I was on. Nah, I wasn't trying to get on the panel. I'm trying to fix you guys' mic issues.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, because some of your mics are popping too much. I'm trying to fix the mic issues.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, thank you.
All right, but yeah, I might have to come back to deal with you on something, Shaka, but we'll see.
What's up? What's good? I'm here.
Nah, we'll see. Y'all proceed. I'm trying to get these mics fixed.
All right, babe.
Shaka, what did
it's
you
probably
say?
about the cheerleader.
Girl, I didn't say nothing. They just, you know, Bridget, you know how they do me. You know, they always got to come for me. I ain't even did nothing. I ain't even said nothing bad about Mike. Oh, I did do something. I did, Bridget.
What you said?
I said, you know, it's my prerogative because I'm a female, and if I want to wear a wig, and I got my.
Hold on, did we discuss that? Because when I tell you, I was 2 seconds off his neck with all that fee, all that emphasis on that fee. No, sir.
Because it's not about who we are, it's what we are. We are male.
Female. Right. I don't know if you saw the show last week, Tammy.
No.
Go back and watch last week's show. I think it was It was straight talk sessions where it was the men and the women, and we were put in our place as females.
Closer towards the
females.
end, but yeah, we were.
You said it wrong, Tammy. Not females. Female.
Yeah, yeah, absolute subordinate.
Oh.
And we were trying to figure out, well, what does that have to do with the price of tea in China? But
Well, yeah, because he was saying that, like, you can't put too much stock in what they saying, because these are females, so they're gonna speak from a place of sir. Oh my God!
Oh, I'm
When
pretty sure that was interesting.
it was so interesting.
I had to iron the frown lines out of my forehead after that one. Like, I was frowning the entire time.
I had people that were watching, and I was literally like this. And they were like, "Oh, your face. What is that?" I was like, "Resting bitch face," because I was about.
I was just gonna say that, like, listen.
I was literally biting my tongue. I was like, "Okay, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it."
That was an interesting show. If you go back and watch that show with no sound, just look at our faces. It's hilarious.
Oh my God. Because I know I have to teach my face. What is that I just saw? I have to teach my face to use its inside expression.
Right. I think what was so interesting to me is that, like, he had so much to say and he wasn't saying anything at all. He literally could have just been like, well, because A and B and C and then D and then E and F. Like, sir, you're not saying anything.
Nothing. But okay.
Oh yeah, I definitely have to watch that.
Right, that's what I heard. Wah, 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 wah. Or Scooby Doo, because that's all that I heard. What? I'm sorry. What? Wait. I should have said, wait. I'm sorry. Let me move my weed. What you said?
I think the statement that stood out.
Breezy, where you at? We lost you.
Oh no! And it was gonna be good. I could tell.
It's saying I'm still here.
Okay. You back. Oh, you gone again.
Me too. Aw.
I might have to cut my Wi-Fi off.
Oh, there you go. We can hear you now.
Y'all can hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so the part that behooved me the most is when he was like, you females need to ask yourself, why can't you keep me? Sir, because nobody wants you.
Right. You know what? Here's my thing. And it's so funny because somebody else said that one of the guys that I know was watching, and he was like, yeah, when this man was like, what you gonna do to keep me? Sir, ain't nobody trying to keep no dogs who don't want to be kept.
At all.
Bye. Please roam free about the country and get off my face.
It was interesting. I would rather,
to say the least,
Mike as a twin, an identical twin Mike, over him.
When Mike said to
Mike
me,
is in the chat.
When Mike said he worse than me, I said, "Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord, he worse than Mike." Oh Lord, what Fred said, so take me home.
Because you know what, Mike, he probably attacks us on a surface level, but I've never perceived anything that Mike has said like, y'all are just subordinates completely. I've never gotten that from him, but that Wayne, oh boy.
Because Mike actually likes Black women. He just, like we tell him, he just has to work on his delivery. But he likes Black women. He just has to work on his delivery of helping us to be better. The other person, I don't think he really likes us.
Okay.
Hey, Mike, I see you in the comments. Thank you for joining. I'm not cleaning anything up, right? You family. Oh my gosh. All right. So we've been talking about quite a bit. We talked talked about the going 50-50 in the relationships. We talked about these kids fighting the teachers and the teachers having to lay hands back on them. We talked about social media and how it's impacting these kids, and talked about the pedophiles and them getting a death sentence. So, Breezy, if you want to like chime in on any of those are just some of the things that we've been talking about. Or if anybody else has anything else you want to bring up, feel free to do that.
I would like to hear Bridget's opinion though on, because I know that you're a mother and having children and having bonus children. How do you feel, or what's your take on these students who are fighting these teachers back?
Oh man, so I hate that so much because the teachers are already underpaid as it is. So we're begging them to show up to do such an important job that they're literally not being paid nearly enough to do. And now they
Mm,
got to fight. Now they have to fight for their safety as well. So
right.
thankfully, I've never been in a situation where my kids have had us at the school for that reason. But I would be thoroughly embarrassed if that were to
Mm,
ever take place, because that's a complete reflection of how I'm raising them. How me and their parents or their other parent is raising them. That's it. Yes, kids definitely act differently at school than they do at home. A lot of kids do, but something as brazen as fighting an adult, that's not
mm,
nothing that you just decided to pull out at school. That's something that your parents probably know that you have the propensity to do, and hopefully they would handle it in a way that backs the teacher up. I, listen, I I would be so embarrassed when I tell you my mom was the type of parent that she would listen to me and she would back me up, and I actually
mm.
embarrassed her very much one time as a child. I told her a teacher, I came home with a bruise on my wrist, and I told her a teacher did it. So she went to the school ready to fight the teacher when actually I hurt myself and I just lied on the teacher. I was trouble.
Bridget, why would you do that?
I don't know. I really have no excuse. I had my arm and they had a string on the tree, and I decided it would be a good idea to wrap my wrist up in the string. And then some kids were playing and they came and bumped into me, which caused me to hurt my wrist that I put in the string. And I told her, the teacher grabbed my wrist. Baby, Helen was about to tear North Fork Elementary School
Oh
apart.
Lord.
But
You about to
that,
get your
but trust
teacher
me,
whooped for nothing.
every bit of anger that she was gonna put on that teacher, she put it on me. So I got what I was asking for. I
Facts.
definitely earned every bit of it that I got.
Facts.
But I would hope that the parents of these kids are let them know that they're just all the way wrong. I don't care what they took from you. Let me handle that as the adult. Let me address the adult. If they
Right.
took your phone from you and you feel like it was unfair, let me address that. Because I'm not gonna say that
Yeah.
the teachers are always right. I've had to tell my
Right.
stepkids before as well, because they're extremely vocal. My kids are a lot less vocal than my stepkids. So
Mm.
I've had to tell them, don't get in debates with your teacher. If your teacher says something that you disagree with or something,
It's my
tell your
job as a
parents.
parent to handle that.
Right.
Absolutely. Let your parents back you up on that. Don't get into a situation where you're arguing back and forth and now it's making you look disrespectful when the teacher
Hmm.
could have been the one in the wrong in the first place. But now that you're arguing with them, the narrative has
Hmm.
Right.
completely changed. Now it's about you being
Yeah.
disrespectful.
Yeah. I
I
don't know,
agree.
Tammy.
And
You
that's
weren't
what I
on when we
think
talked
should
about that.
happen, is that they should let the parents.
Now that part I agree with. Like there's like nowadays totally different generation from when we
Yes.
were growing up.
Yes.
I mean, I graduated high school in '04, so I can
Oh
remember,
Lord.
and I definitely I can remember, and I recall, going to high school, and of course, like I did not want anybody to call my mom because I knew, like, I was like, oh my gosh, she's gonna kill me. She's gonna, embarrass me, come out to school. We didn't even give a thought to touching our teacher, or, I mean, yes, there was fights amongst other students, but that was something that we were forbidden to do. Like, we did not want to put a hand up. But now, looking in the news, looking at the news, you see these kids, it's probably more brought on to these like little cliques that they have, and they want to, gain popularity or look tough in front of their other friends and stuff like that, which they probably egg them on. And of course, it's YouTube and all these social media accounts, which kind of like make it more popular and make it more like out there for, oh, let me record you, let me put this on social media and all these little different accounts. But completely agree. Like, I think it's terrible. Like, if a child goes against goes against a teacher, just like she was saying, these teachers are way underpaid. They have to go through so much, all this equipment, this technology, these learning aspects, as well as so many kids in their classroom. They already have a lot of pressure. And then you want to come against, you got this student that comes against a teacher saying like, oh, I want to go to the bathroom, or you took my cell phone, I'm going to hit you. Now it's like, what does a teacher supposed to do? She feels like she's getting threatened. You're in her space, and this child is hitting me. So I'm just supposed to sit back and let it happen? No, they're going to defend themselves. So with that incident that just happened with that girl attacked attacked the teacher, honestly, I feel like she wasn't wrong. I mean, she was in her space. She gave her an ample amount of, multiple opportunities, to stand back, get out of her space, go sit down. That student could have walked away, but you see her fellow classmates were egging her on. And then once the teacher got on top of her, she was asking the same classmates to help her out and to get her off of her. No, you did this, so this is the outcome. Yes, the teacher may have lost her job and her reputation may be tarnished, but at the same time, it's like, that's just wrong. You were wrong. So now you have to go back to your mom, which was very interesting because the mom actually posted something stating that she felt so embarrassed that she actually agreed with the teacher for defending herself towards her own daughter. So it was like, okay, this mom actually understands what these teachers go through, that her child was in the wrong. Like, if my kids go to school and they want to see her go up against a teacher, no, you're wrong. I don't care. That's an adult. You could step outside, go to the office and call your mom or your dad and let us know what's going on. You don't have to go to the next extreme level and attack this teacher. For what? Yeah. Just for her doing her job and following the rules? No.
Exactly.
These kids.
What gets me is some of the adults who are saying, I'm sorry, it's a lag over here on my end. What gets me is the adults who are saying, well, why couldn't the teacher just give her the phone and just end that? Instead of why can't the child respect the fact that her phone has been taken? It's probably a school. Right. It could be a rule where they're not supposed to have phones, but they're like, well, why couldn't she just give her the phone and just end it? That is a problem in itself.
And for me, and this is probably crazy, but for me, I almost feel like it goes back to the days of the participation trophy. Oh, well, it was first, second, third. When I was in field day in elementary school, first, second, third. That's all that it was. Now everybody got to get a participation trophy. So that's just like saying, well, little, Junior worked really hard and Junior tried and he just didn't he should get something. Why couldn't Junior just give him the phone back? No, these kids are almost cursed. These kids are too entitled.
Say it.
And they feel like they're too fucking entitled. And that's the problem. And parents need to start parenting their children and stop trying to be their friend. Because every time you turn around, it's, well, I know they're not supposed to do this, but I'm going to go ahead and let you do it anyway. I'm going to let you do this, whatever. Oh, it's fine. It's okay. Just, don't let your dad know. Don't let your mama know. Don't let whatever know. Because you don't want your kid, like, I'll never forget. Same scenario with that little girl in church that I told earlier, where she was 10 and she was on Musically and she was dancing all provocative, and I didn't know if her mother knew or not because my kid showed me. So I told her mother in private, this is what we saw, this is what we found. You might, I don't care what you do with the information. I just wanted you to know. And literally, this lady, a couple weeks later, my daughter shows me again, same kid, still doing the same thing. And I was like, wow, so clearly her mom just didn't care. But then she goes, well, I didn't want her to be mad at me.
No.
You think I give a fuck if my child is upset with me? Good, be mad. You don't like it, there told her
That
to get
part,
out.
yes.
Like, I
And
think
you
they're
didn't
trying
say
to be
nothing
more
because I
of
bought all
a
that.
friend to their
She didn't
child
tell
instead of being
her.
a
I'm not
parent.
your friend. I'm not your friend.
Like,
I'm
She
your
no.
didn't
mama.
stop her from dancing provocatively because she didn't want the 10-year-old to be upset with her.
She didn't, yeah, because what I said was earlier, like some of these apps, I feel like as parents, we need to, well, I'm not going to say we as parents, but what I did with my kid was I would go through her phone in her face. I want you to see me do this. On top of that, if there was an app that I felt like she shouldn't do or be on or be whatever, delete that. And if you didn't, then there's things where you can take control over your kid's phone because, like I said, these kids are in middle school and high school. They can't afford no cell phone bill. It's our phone that we're giving them and letting them use. And then they talk about, but they took my phone. It ain't your phone. It's my phone. On
It's not
top of
your
that,
phone.
use the parental, guidance or the parental, control to shut it down, to not
Yeah.
let them have access to certain things. Because we're literally, when we have these tablets that we're giving our children, we have these tablets that we're giving our kids and nieces and nephews and relatives or whomever, you're giving them the world. This is the world. Here you go. Here's the whole world in your hand. And they can
Yep.
look and scroll and find whatever they want to look and
That's
find.
true.
Start being parents to these children, and we wouldn't have all of these, silly, arrests and stupid things happening because at the end of the day, I was I was raised they instilled fear in me. I instilled fear in my child. I'm not saying that's the right way to parent, but it works for me. It works for my kid. It works for my ex-husband. We all work together.
Yeah.
So let me tell
Let's
you
pause for a
that
second.
phone stuff is
See one of
serious.
our panelists in the comments. Tawana, can you get up here, please,
T
ma'am?
Rock. T Rock.
One of the original Pour Your Heart Out panelists. Can you join us, ma'am? I dropped the link in the chat. Please get up here.
One of the
All
one
right,
of
I'm
the
sorry. Go ahead.
Bridget, you were talking.
Oh, that phone thing is serious with those kids because
Mm-hmm.
if you're not up in those phones, they have so much going on, and if you're not connected to them, you may not know. But let me tell you,
Right.
my son, my 17-year-old, that's my backup right there. That's my co-captain when it comes to the phone. He'll take my daughter's phone in a minute and go through it. And if he sees anything he don't like, that's how I found out my daughter was cursing, was my
Oh,
son. My son let me know she was cursing. This man was 11 years old, cuss, baby, cussing like me, like
like she was
my
Shaka's child.
my big 43-year-old self. And I don't even curse around my kids. But this was like, bitch, what you doing? Bitch this, bitch that. I was like, no. But she wanted to fit in with the crowd of girls that she clicked with at Dillard. So guess what mommy
Mm-hmm.
did? Bye bye Dillard. I can't do it. You're not ready.
Gonna
That's
leave the
not
whole
your
school.
personality.
Right.
Yes, bye bye. I'm sorry. You're not built for that.
The whole
Thank
school.
you.
Bye.
Right.
Oh, had to go. Had to go. But yes, you gotta. I mean, I feel like kids should have a certain amount of privacy, but not in them phones.
Oh
I
no,
pay for
there's no
that phone
privacy. Ain't no right. Ain't no
Yeah,
privacy. I wish I
no.
would go to my
in
daughter.
that
She's
phone.
23 and her door don't be locked. I bust it down. I take it. I take the whole door before
Mm-hmm.
you got privacy. Because what happens with privacy is what? This is when they end up planning how to bomb the school and how to shoot up this and how to do all these
Mm-hmm.
things. Because they got
Yes.
privacy. Mom,
They
get
have
the hell
too
out
much
my room.
privacy.
Your
Yeah.
room. You don't pay for nothing. All this mine. All of this.
That's when we
I
go
have
old
no
school and say,
problem
you came at
going
my
in that AT&T app.
privacy.
I'll go in that app and shut it down. Shut everybody's phone off
Right.
right
Call me
from the
Olivia
app.
Pope. Right. Call me Olivia Pope in this house. Shut it down now. It's
Down.
all shut down.
Wow, 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 wow. I'm looking over in the comments. Tawana can't join us right now. Tawana says she in the tub. But yeah, she's
Oh,
not
okay.
gonna
Well,
join
Bridget.
us.
So, can I bring up a topic?
Yeah, just for a second though, I want to say
Mhm.
what's up to Solar. Thank you so much for joining us, and Deplorable Black King. Is that Wayne? I don't remember if that's his name on there. Is that Wayne? If it is, hey, what's up? Thank you all for joining us. Go ahead, Shaka. Go ahead, Shaka.
So I was on the social medias and I came across a topic that said, and I mean, I know that Nene, clearly you're married. Not sure of everybody else's marital status, but there's a
Teddy
very
is.
popular little rapper by the name of Glorilla. She Free, you know. Um,
Yeah.
but
Mm-hmm.
she said something along the lines of, "Do we still believe in marriage in this day and age?"
I do.
She said, "Because as soon as right," but I'm just saying, if you think like just, just for a moment, just play with me for a moment, engage with
I'm
me.
trying to figure out what the
So,
echo is coming.
oh, I don't know. I'm sorry. So, with this generation, like we go back to everything goes back to the way you were raised, right? The way you were brought up, and I was married, divorced now, currently dating, but I feel like a lot of women are not so
We're not hurting for it.
being married.
Not for marriage, that's for sure.
I feel like, say it again.
I said we're definitely not hurting for marriage.
Right, but I feel like a lot of women aren't, trying to get married right now. Like, if it ain't broke, why fix it? Because what I think Glorilla said was something along the lines of, and I'm gonna paraphrase for a little bit. She was like, certain, men after 6 months they start minning, and she used the N word. And once they start
Yeah.
minning, I'ma start manning too, so it ain't gonna work for me. So I was like, okay, cool. I can understand where she's coming from. I'm not gonna say that's necessarily my life, but Shaka 10 years ago, I wanted to be married. Like, I need to be married. I'm ready to be engaged, ready to go to the next level. Da 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 da. Shaka 10 years later, it's kind of like, I mean, marriage is cool if that's supposed to be my outcome, but I ain't pressed to be married. So, just ladies, do you
That's
feel like
hilarious.
you have female friends or people that you may know that aren't necessarily checking to be married right now, but are in relationships or in long term relationships or what have you?
So can I dive in on this one
Yeah,
before okay. I am engaged. I am currently engaged. So
that's
with
not
that
true. I know what
said,
it looks like. Not you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
huh?
Go ahead. Not you.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I was talking up.
She responded to the comments.
got you. Okay, so 4 years ago, before I met my fiance, I would say I probably had a very similar mindset to what she has, and I'll tell you why. I was dating, and the majority of the people that were approaching me for dates was somebody else's husband. So tell me the appeal of wanting to get married when the married people don't want to be in their marriage. So that was really giving me a time back then. I was so content with just being single and doing whatever it is that I decided to do with whomever son I decided to do it with. I didn't care, about monogamy and just settling down with one person. My head
Mm,
wasn't, I was not in that headspace. And it didn't help at all that I was on the worst dating site that you could ever be on. Plenty of fish. It should be called hell. That's what it should be called. And there were so many married guys on there, and they had no problem telling you, "Yeah, I'm married." Like, what's the problem? What does that have to do with you?
your wife, sir. Your wife. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You got a
That's the
whole wife.
right.
Everything.
That's a problem for me.
Everything.
Like, why am I gonna sign up to do something like this when these husbands are? When I tell you the husbands are outside, understand that the husbands are outside. Now, that's not to say that the wives aren't, because I'm sure they are in some of these marriages. But again, that was 4 years ago. So I met my fiance, and he's like, "Yeah, you done with outside. We gonna go take you in the house." So, do I want to be married? Absolutely. Do I believe in the sanctity of marriage? Absolutely, I do. But I also understand how she can feel that way, just looking at the world and how some of us choose to operate in it.
These comments,
Trevor
please.
says that
please.
women are trained to be everything but wives. Do you all agree with that?
No, next. No,
First
next.
of all, you train
And Mike
a
says
dog,
that.
but
Breezy, say it again.
you train a dog. You don't train a woman to do anything.
Oh, right. I don't feel like I was trained to be anything. Mike says that women practice all skills, twerking, chasing the bag, etc., except being a wife. That don't
Mike
apply
is
to me,
hurt,
so
and we
I can't
know
respond to
Mike
that.
is hurt.
That doesn't
Mike
apply
and
to
we
me.
know Mike's hurt.
Mike is miking in the comments.
That doesn't apply to me.
Right. Women, I'm a woman, and I don't practice twerking skills. Either you got it or you don't, Mike. So that doesn't make any sense to me. Right, my daughter is 23. I don't say, "Come on, Alani, it's time to practice your twerking," before I tell her it's time to get in there and learn, how to cook properly, to make a Thanksgiving dinner, how to wash your clothes so you can take care of yourself. So in the event that she does get married, she knows how to take care of her family. So it's not about teaching them how to twerk. Again, I don't know what Mike. We gotta talk because I just want to know what this ex did. Was she just twerking in the mirror all day? Like what happened?
Listen,
like
this
what
girl,
happened?
woo, she did something.
She something, right? Because she got Mike in a chokehold. Like you gotta let this twerking thing go, Mike. Right. Right. Here we go, Mike. I got you. Ah. That's for you. Yeah.
Mike Mia. Before Anna, she asked the question.
Say it again. We can't hear you.
If anyone's talking, I can't hear
Nene,
anything right
Nene, hold on. Nene, you gotta go out and come back in. You've been lagging the whole show. So while she's doing that, let me ask. No, let me say something real quick because I know we doing the cross promotion tomorrow night. That's why I've been trying to avoid to come up here, even though Shaka been summoning the Candyman all night. How come you guys train to be in your profession, correct? Correct? Yeah. Yes or no?
No.
Okay. All right. Okay. You see what I'm saying with women. Anytime the narrative don't fit you guys, then there's always got to be some type of retort to it. Somebody trained you to do your job. So now when I say that women are trained for everything but to be a wife, I'm not a dog. Don't train me. That's not you're taking that. No, you're taking that the wrong way. Like that's the issue there. Huh?
Yes, we hear you now.
Can y'all
now we can hear you.
Don't come in here fussing at my women.
No, but I'm gonna get down. But we had to come to the point where just like you guys tell us, don't all right, damn, now I'm echoing. What the hell going on?
Bye.
Just like you guys tell us.
How do you train to be a wife? Tell me that. How do you train to be a wife?
No, because y'all don't want y'all don't want to hear it.
Y'all train.
Don't leave.
How do you train to be a
So,
wife?
Okay.
Something that
Can I speak? Can I speak?
When we let you, when we feel like you can.
Can I speak?
You limit it to 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Go.
Can y'all limit it to 30 seconds? All right, let's go. Listen. The Bible tells you train up a child in the way he should go, to when he gets old, it will not depart from it. So there's training right there. You're trained to be a wife by the examples that you see from your parents. A lot of times, and I'm not talking about y'all, a lot of you women have never seen a good marriage. That's why you scoff at marriage so much, because you don't know what a good one looks like. Your image of marriage is what you see on TV and what you see celebrities do. But I'm gonna get down though, because I'm this not that show.
I don't even want you to get down, but I just
we'll see y'all.
there's
We'll
not
see y'all
one
tomorrow.
We'll see you
No, you
tomorrow.
can
We'll
stay
holler
up.
at
We'll
you
You
see
can
y'all
tomorrow.
stay up
tomorrow.
here, but
that's
you
fine.
don't
That's
sound like
Right.
you
We'll holler at
chastising
you
us
tomorrow.
Because y'all not ready to have a conversation
Oh,
with
we
Mr.
ready.
Straight
Oh,
Talk.
we
we
ready.
absolutely
Oh, we
are.
ready. We
Y'all
ready.
don't
I'm on
want
the
to.
turnpike ready to have
We
a conversation
ready.
with you. There's not one way to wife. That's why I have a problem with the word training to be a
this.
wife. There's
Exactly.
not
So
Right.
why when I asked y'all, did y'all train for your careers automatically? Y'all said no. You know why? Because that was the defense mechanism. Like, well, dang, if I agree that I trained to do my job, then he's gonna say I got you to train
I
to
Are
be
you
a
didn't say
wife.
asking us?
No,
Is that
nobody
why we
went
say? Are
there.
you asking us, or are you assuming that?
Right.
I'm
He's
Are you
asking
assuming.
asking
y'all.
us if we
I'm
have to go
asking
on the
y'all.
defense, or are you assuming that?
I'm asking y'all. Why did y'all go on the defense?
No one went
so
on
why
the
does it
defense.
Okay,
You
have to
asked
are
be
the
you
question. You
trained?
said,
asking
Why
what
us
do
why
if
you?
can't
we
it be
went on the
taught?
defense, or are you assuming that we went on the defense?
He's assuming.
I'll see y'all tomorrow.
He
I just
said
want to know, how do you
I gotta
train
say
to be
my
a
voice.
wife? Because the wife that I am to you may not work for me being a wife to somebody else.
Okay, Nene. How did you learn how to be a
Absolutely.
wife? How did you learn how to be a wife?
I didn't. I learned on the job. I'm learning every single day.
I
So
was
you
gonna say
didn't.
You're
she's
right.
still
I
learning.
don't follow what I saw on TV. I'm still
So
learning because
you
I
didn't.
have to be a wife to you. So I have to learn every day by being married to you how to be a wife to you. And every day,
That's
hopefully,
right, Mike.
I'm
They
getting
can't
better
tell when
at
they're
being
being
a wife
defensive.
to you. Now, had I married another man, because just like my relationships, I had to learn how to be in a relationship with you because what I did with and for you did not work in my previous relationships. Hence why I ain't in those previous relationships. I'm with you. Bam. So
That's it.
every day I'm learning how to be a wife to you because and even if I had women in my family or in my life to see being a wife, they were being a wife to their husbands. I wasn't in their house with them to see what they were doing with their husbands. And then I could try to be that because I've seen women who say, well, I want to be what my grandmama and my granddaddy did, but it's not working in their relationships because they're not married to their grandmama and their granddaddy. So
Thank you.
every day I'm learning how to be a wife to you so that our marriage can work. So I
And
can't
I think we
train to be a
answered your
wife.
question
Like I
on
That
both
can't
that
train
sides.
to be a
that
mother.
that's
I'm
that's
learning
that
every day
sounds
how to
good.
be a mother to
That
Layla.
listen, that sounds
It's
good.
not what you want to hear because you want to be
No,
you have
no,
because we're not finna.
Why you being so defensive, Trevor?
no. I'm
Listen,
not
why
being
you being
It's
so
not.
defensive.
It doesn't have
defensive?
to
But
sound
here's
Why
the
you being
thing.
right,
so
sound good, or sound
defensive?
bad.
Here's the
That's
thing.
what it is. There's
Is
nothing
one,
that
two,
I
three,
can
four,
do to train to be
one,
a
two, three,
wife.
four. It's four y'all up here now, and I see T Rock is in the back, so probably gonna be five soon. And y'all
Oh,
can't
he's scared.
come to the consensus to be like, you know what? Let me listen to this man who has a decent track record that maybe something he's saying may be right. No, but
What?
we just want to
No,
jump
No,
on me
we're
right
not
now.
disagreeing with
no
you.
one's
We're
jumping on
asking
you.
you how do you
Everything that
train
she
to be a wife?
no, everything that she just said is right though, Trevor. She didn't say
Correct.
anything wrong there.
I'm not
So
disagreeing with you.
did I say anything wrong?
Yes.
You
What? Okay,
didn't.
let me say
I mean,
something.
you're
I'm
just
not gonna say.
what did I do
So
to train? I
here's
can't
my
train to be a
perspective of it.
wife.
But I think his issue is that I complained about him using the word train. I just feel like there's a different word that could be used in that place. But her answer I think is perfect because she can only learn how to be your wife by being your wife. There's no way to train to be a wife. There's no way to
Somebody has their
train
YouTube open.
to be a wife.
Somebody has their YouTube open because I'm hearing like everything twice.
Yeah. But Mike, no, I want to come. But Mike, I don't feel like we're gang arguing. We're trying to understand his question because he's
That's what
asking
they're doing,
about
Mike.
how do you train to be a wife. I don't know how to train to be a wife. Like I went to school to learn how to be a teacher because I took classes. There are no class, and me as a teacher, I'm learning how to teach every child. Once I got in the classroom, some of that stuff I learned that I spent them thousands of dollars of tuition on did not work. So I had to learn on the job. Okay, I got to learn how to teach little Billy because little Billy like to square up at me. I got to learn how to teach Mikey because Mikey don't know how to spell his name. I got to learn
Or
how to
talk to
teach
women.
Susie, because Susie needs one-on-one instruction. So I'm a damn good teacher for 19 years, but every day I am learning how to be a better teacher to each individual child. So I can't go to school to learn how to be a wife. I got married praying and hoping that I would be a good wife for this one man I married. And every day I have to learn how to be a good wife to him. Sometimes I'm doing good, and sometimes I ain't doing good. And he let me know I'm not doing good. I let him know, hey, you're not doing good. Like, he didn't know
As
how
it
to
should
be a
be.
husband, how to be a good man. And
Can
once we
you
got married, we had to learn how to be married to each other. And the things that I do with and for Trevor may not work if I were to marry somebody else. So I can't go and say, you know what, I'm a damn good wife because I trained and you need to be happy with who I am. No, I had to be a good wife to this
can,
one person.
can
And
you
what didn't work, I got to figure out how to make it work. So even though I trained to be a teacher, I'm still learning how to be a teacher every day to the children that they throw in front of me every single day and every single year.
hold up? So I'm gonna say this before I go. First of all, what's up to T Rock? I haven't seen you in a long time.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome to the For Your Heart.
One of our original
Thank
members.
you.
So one last thing I will say, and Solar hit it perfectly on the head. You got to make sure and put that comment up. But here's what I'll say. You guys don't want to see the train. Y'all don't want to hear the training word because you think we're talking about dogs. Will you just admit? Will you admit that you are being trained to be a fantastic YouTube host? Because I just came on here and brought the me version out of you just now. I have not seen you turn up like this in forever.
But that's not you training me. You put me in a situation where I am learning.
You see what I'm saying?
Just like
you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
Okay, let me just admit.
Hey,
okay, yes, Trevor,
Get
you're
off my
training.
face.
Hey, y'all be capping, boy.
I'm
Get off my sister. You my sister first. You gonna get off my sister. Okay.
Everybody,
Thank you, Trevor. We'll talk
everybody, all
tomorrow.
the
Bye.
ladies say the word train.
Train.
They gonna kick me off of my own show. Damn. All right. Bye.
Oh my God, Nina, you ain't got him trained yet.
Train. 1, 2, 3.
Right.
Look,
train.
You ain't got him trained yet. I know it's been 10 years. Woo, we gotta get him trained, child.
I love you. I know I ain't got him trained yet. I need to work on my training with him. He still ain't trained. All right. I can't even keep up in the comments. Okay. Of course, if we don't agree, then that means that we just difficult. So, okay, Mike, I got you. Thank y'all for coming. See, why are all of my original
You cut out.
Oh yeah, you went out.
No, you're frozen, I think. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, Nina, you lagging bad.
You
lagging real bad.
sabotaging my sis.
No, I'm not sabotaging her. I don't know what's
She
going
wanted
on.
to come back in. He cut her mic off.
I actually
Jackie pressing the button to something.
No, I actually was getting ready to leave. Unmute yourself. Yeah, you might have to go out again and come back in. Because I see your hands moving, but I don't unmute yourself.
Please stand by, everyone. We're just having small technical difficulties. Thank you for your patience.
Yeah, well, hey, well, T-Rock, what you drinking, Corona?
Corona.
You know what you got to put with that? I just made it the other day. I did a Corona sunrise.
You put grenadine in it?
The grenadine and a shot of tequila. A shot of tequila. Oh, and then if you got like pineapple or orange juice, that's yes. Girl, I'm about to go make me one.
Let me do that. Let me do that.
Look, hold. She can hear y'all, but y'all ain't gonna see me.
I
I'll be
want one. I want
been a
All right,
long
you
week.
back
one. Y'all
now?
hear me?
Yeah, you're
Yes.
back.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I keep getting a notification saying that StreamYard is not connecting well. I don't know what's going on tonight. Before we get off though, Ricardo put something up a while ago, but we got real deep in that training of a wife thingy. But I didn't want to dismiss his comment. He was asking, did we talk about how this is it showing up? Hold on. I don't know what's going on with tonight. He was asking, did we talk about how the schools are trying to teach kids graphic sexual content? Broward County schools, they were recently setting where I think next week that teachers in elementary schools, at least I know I only teach elementary, we were supposed to be doing a human life sexuality curriculum, and word just came. I guess parents started complaining about it, but we are no longer teaching that to them. So Ricardo, we are not going to be teaching that this year. I don't know if they're going to push it to next year, but I guess they got a whole lot of pushback on that. Understandably so, because one, that the parents, they don't have the curriculum. They don't have. Say it again.
What is it that you all were supposed to be teaching and not now?
We were supposed to be teaching a human life and sexuality curriculum at the K through 5 week, but I guess a lot of parents did a lot of pushback on that, so they canceled that. I want one. So they canceled that. So we are not going to be teaching that curriculum, Ricardo.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure that his question got answered because he asked that a while ago, but we got like deep into these other things. So I started.
What is it like? Is it? So is it supposed to be like what, sex ed or something?
Or did that replace
Pretty much,
home
yes.
economics?
I haven't seen the curriculum.
I feel like
I haven't seen the
it
curriculum, and in order for the parents to see it, they would have to go into the school because it couldn't be released.
So, I mean, we learned about sex ed in school.
Yeah, but we weren't in elementary school. At least I wasn't in elementary school.
I learned about sex in school. I was 10 years old. I was in the 5th grade, and it was only because one of the 5th graders, was pregnant. So they brought in all of the 5th grade girls. Yep, they brought in all of the 5th grade girls. I mean, she ended up I think she was molested or something by like a family member or whatever. But goodness. She's 10. She didn't know they just happened to notice the stomach and whatever happened. But I remember the first time that they talked about sex in school, I was 10 and I was in the 5th grade. It was elementary, and they brought all the girls in the cafeteria, and we're all like, "Oh, why we here? Oh, girl time, da 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 da." And then they started talking about sex, and we were all like, "Wait, what?" Like it was literally it went over our heads because we weren't even thinking about that. Again, we didn't have the world in our hand, so we didn't know. Most of us didn't anyway. So
do you recall if they asked for your mom's permission to do that?
I don't think they did 5th grade because I don't ever remember that. Well, back in those days, we would have a note that they would pin to us. And you would go home with this piece of paper and this note like stuck on you, right? So you're literally walking home like this so they can't miss something important. There was no give this to your parents. It was literally don't take it off until you get home. Okay. So I don't think they did in the 5th grade. Now, I do remember when I got to 6th grade that we did have to have permission from our parents, and those who didn't get permission had to leave the class and go to somebody else's classroom. But 5th grade, no, they just started sitting us down and talking to us.
Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
Yeah, they did things different when we were in school. We were like the crash test dummy. They did a lot of stuff.
We were the pilot.
We were. Yes, we were.
For so many things.
Yes.
And that's why I think I'm so behind now, because my mom didn't let me do any of that. We didn't learn until I was 13 in the 8th grade. And my mom said, nope. So I did not learn any of that until I was 17. And I had already graduated high school.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't think they didn't. I don't feel like it should be called sex ed though, because all I learned is about diseases. I didn't learn anything about actual sex or,
reproduction or any of that.
hygiene or reproduction. I didn't. I learned that your butt looks like cauliflower when you have a certain disease, and don't kiss nobody because they got sores in their mouth. That's what I learned. But
Cauliflower butt.
It's not funny, but it's true though. Like that's really what it was.
What it looks like.
So what I will say,
Oh my gosh.
I will say this with when I was engaged, he had a son who was a year older than my daughter. So every Friday night, I believe from the time that they were like maybe seventh and eighth grade up until up until they were in college. When when his son would come home from college, we would literally every Friday night was family game night because I always said once they go off to college and they become grown, we ain't gonna see these people no more, right? They're gonna be gone. These kids gonna be living their lives, doing whatever they do, as young adults. So we would do family game night. So as they would set up, for whatever game, I'm talking Uno, Monopoly, Life, whatever these board games were that we played as a family, before we would do the family game night, I would talk to the kids about sex. He would not speak to his son about sex, and I don't know what the reasoning for it was, but I'm like, does he even know how to put on a condom? Oh, I don't know. It's okay. Today's lesson before we start playing the game of life, how to put on a condom. Everybody grab a banana, everybody get a condom. This is what we're going to do, right? Because what I don't want to happen is you coming home to me at 16, 17, whether it's the boy or the girl, and somebody then messed up and now somebody's pregnant because they didn't know how to put on a condom. When I was growing up, it was the dual responsibility to know to put on the condom. We were not taught that, right? But I made sure that I figured it out and I learned because you got some men who just, oh yeah, I ain't got one. So oops, oh, I thought I put it on, right? And then it pops and now I'm pregnant and now, we're not going to do all of that. So I learned. So I felt like this is an important tool for my kids, biologically or bonus or whatever, to know. So we went over the diseases. We went over the cauliflower butt. We went over, herpes and HPV and all these things. But it's crazy to me how, again, just, going off let's go back to what Trevor said, being trained to be a wife. Nobody trained me to be a mother. You get two books. You get What to Expect When Expecting, and then you get what to expect the first year. Then after that, it's trial and error. You
and how
trial
much
and
of
error.
that stuff was accurate? How much of that stuff was accurate? Either of those?
Right. Because that may not be your kid. That's a typical pregnancy. That's a typical 1-year-old.
Yeah.
We already know these kids.
Gonna go to 9 months.
You see what You see what I'm saying? So it's not that you were trained, but at the same time, I wanted my kids to know the things that I wasn't equipped with when I was their age that was really important. So I took it upon myself to say, okay, kids, this is what we're gonna do. But then we still gonna have family game night. And I thought it would stop, once they graduated high school. No, they would come home from college. They'd be like, we ain't playing Life. We're not going to play no game of Uno. Oh, I want a good old game of Monopoly. You see how that's still instilled in them and they're adults now?
Yeah. That's good.
Stop being their friends.
The joys? I don't think they're teaching about the joys.
I'm gonna say they're not teaching them that it feel good and all of that.
Does cauliflower butt sound like joy? Cauliflower butt does not sound like joy.
No, it doesn't. And the show didn't look like it was joyous and joyful
at all. At all.
Yeah, teaching about the diseases is good.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely was a
we can have a conversation about joys of sex when she gets old. Like, she's 23. So I feel like I've done my job as a parent raising her because now she's technically an adult, even though the job is never done. However, I feel like if my 23-year-old came to me and we had a real adult conversation, because we've been having conversations since she was in the womb about any and everything. So now that she's out and she's comfortable with talking to me, because keep in mind, a lot of kids, like me, I'll be 45 in a couple months, right? I can't talk to my mama about sex because she's just so dramatic and over the top with it. I don't even want to hear it. As a 40, soon to be 45, as a middle-aged woman, I don't want to have a discussion with my mother. Okay, I'm not saying that my daughter at 23 would want to, but if she were to come to me, I wouldn't sit here and just be like, oh, it's about pleasing the man, because that was another thing. The conversations that I did have with adults that were willing to talk to me at a young age were talking about how I need to please my man. But what about the pleasure for the woman? A lot of us didn't have that conversation. Thank God for certain cousins and aunts who did share that information with me because I wouldn't have known any better. I thought when you were having sex, you're supposed to go and scream or whatever because that's what you were supposed to do. I didn't know it felt good and it actually make you make those noises. You see what I'm saying? But that's because it was a lack of knowledge on my part.
And we got our training from porn.
Right. Oh my God! Let's not even start with that. Right? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Mama G was always there.
I asked my mom about sex. I think I was 14 years old. I asked my mom about sex. And it wasn't so much that I wanted to know, but my best friend at the time was having sex and she made it sound like it was so much fun. And I was the type of silly child that I asked my mom permission for everything. So I didn't necessarily say, hey, can I have sex? But I did say, can you tell me about sex? Because I want to know. And she was like, what? No, I'm not talking to you about that. Just know you don't do it. That's all you need to know. And I was like, oh, so that means I have to go
wow,
I have to go out and do it.
Which is exactly what I did. And
Indeed.
that's not what we should be doing as parents. But listen, I understand that it is an uncomfortable conversation because even now, my oldest is 23. He'll be 23 in July. And we were out somewhere and they started playing WAP. And I was like, hey, it's kids in here. Cut that off. And my son was looking at me like, kids, where? Where is the kids? Like, I'm still uncomfortable with that type of stuff. But I get it,
Yeah. I mean, I'm not laughing at you, Bridget, but that was funny. Like, I guess I'm not. I'm very open with my daughter because at the end of the day, the world is not going to. There's children in here, you know what I mean. So I want to get to her before the world does. So I have those conversations. I mean, it's funny because hey, turn WAP down because there's kids in here. Whereas me and my daughter are, you want to be Meg and I be Cardi? Okay, cool. And we just reciting it back and forth. But again, we've already had the conversation. So she knows right from wrong. Like I will honestly say, I don't know everything that happens in my daughter's life. There's no way I would know 100% of everything that she does, but I do know 85% of what she does. And I feel like that's a great percentage to have in this day and age with a 23-year-old.
Absolutely.
Well, Bridget, have you had that conversation with your son? Did you have that conversation with your son, and at what age if you did?
I did not. At the time, I was with my middle two kids, their dad, and we had a deal because he had all girls. Our deal was, I'll talk to the girls, you talk to the boys. So he had that conversation with Brandon. I think our second son was in on the conversation as well because from my understanding, they have started having that communication. He did text me and let me know, hey, the talks have started. And I immediately went and had a drink because I'm not ready. But that's just hard for me. I can talk to y'all about anything. Like y'all can, and I'm quick to say that y'all can come to me. You can talk to me about anything. Just don't say penis and vagina and no. I can't.
So when your daughter is of that age, like, does your daughter know that she can come to you and talk about anything?
My daughter is at that age.
Okay.
And let me tell you, we've had lots of conversations. And if I smoked cigarettes, I would probably have a pack of Newports hanging out the side of my mouth right now because
not the Newport.
they are exposed to way more than we were.
Absolutely.
So whether it's accurate information or not, they have a lot more information than we had. So some of the stuff that she's brought to me, I've had to be like, no, that's not right. Like, that's not reality. That's social media or that's TV or, but she's very open. She's very open with me. And I'm glad we have that open communication. But baby, I'm not great for no reason. I'm not great for no reason.
Are women equipped?
What does that say? Here's a good question. Are
women equipped to teach boys about
do
sex?
Women need to teach boys about?
Yes. If I'm equipped to birth a boy, a male into this world, I'm equipped to teach a man, to teach that boy, my child, whom I have raised about sex.
So here's a perspective. And it may be valid in their opinion or not. I don't know. And it's not sexual. However, my son told me the other day that his girlfriend was upset with him, and he said he didn't speak to her when she was in front of her friends. And I had to explain to him that as a woman, you embarrassed her. You know, I understand that you're not a people person, but you embarrassed her. So in how I feel like that relates is, as a woman, you can teach your son, hey, women don't like when you guys do certain things, or, you know, you might make sure. We can teach them how to respect women. We can teach them how to respect themselves when presenting themselves to women in a sexual nature, and not think everything you see on porn and movies is what women actually want you to do. So in that regard, yes, we can teach them about sex.
I agree. I agree with you. I agree with you, Breezy, because I feel like a lot of guys who either I've talked to just as, you know, friends or whatever, or even dated, I feel like they've learned a lot of their sexual experiences from porn. And porn is just that. It is, you know, made for TV. It is not that is, right, entertainment purposes only. That is not really what happens in, you know, the bed. And I even had to check myself with one person, because I remember, you know, they thought that, you know, pain, oh, women love pain. I don't want it to hurt. I don't no, we don't. So I literally had to go and ask like other women, like, hey, you pain during sex? No, it shouldn't be painful, enjoyable, yeah, but you know, but to each his own, right? Because maybe some do get off on that. But when you watch these pornographic whatevers, that's what you see. All this, you know, pain, and it's supposed to hurt, and all this, like, no, porn don't teach y'all how to make love. Who trained y'all how to do that, Trevor?
Who's
not
equipped
trained. I think we are, though. I think we are equipped.
They gonna get me tomorrow. Ooh, they gonna get me.
They are. You know they
gonna get me.
They gonna go all off topic.
I'm ready. She ready.
So Solar, he's agreeing with what Bridget said, you know, about teaching about that, but he says that's cool for the moms to do, but not, I guess, actually teaching about sex itself. So I guess he's agreeing with what you did say as far as teaching the boys about how to treat the woman and all of that.
I don't want no parts of it personally, but that's just me, because I'm a winner.
Go to your daddy.
It's the honesty.
Right. Go talk to your
call
dad.
your dad?
What's your dad?
Go ask your daddy.
Have that conversation, right?
Call your dad, please. Yeah.
Trevor saying we may have to fire this conversation back up because they want to get in on it. We can do that.
I told y'all I done pissed them off, child.
You know what? But I mean, I think it's a very good conversation to have, and maybe not about boys, but men. I think women need to teach men about sex, because y'all think y'all know a lot more than you do. Can we have that conversation?
They haven't sex with it, so yeah.
Right, I'm just trying to figure out who trained them to do these things.
Oh my God!
It'll be a good conversation with us and the man.
That's such a good question. Like, who told you that feels good? Who told you that?
Who? The Pornhub.
Somebody lied.
Right, big time.
You know what I was thinking about when Trevor was talking about training to be a wife? Like, some men, let me not do what they do.
Girl,
some men have this perception that everything is one size fits all. So some men feel like, oh, my ex used to like when I bit her clit, so you gonna like it. No, sir.
Yeah, no.
That's not how things work.
Don't do that. You want to get punched in the face?
You cannot take everything
work
that you
for one
learn
clit, don't work for all.
Absolutely, and that's the thing. Like, it has to be customized. Everything is customized. Right. So I don't know about the whole training to be a wife, because y'all think y'all are trained for sex, and some of you
and they also think they're trained to be husbands, and clearly they are not. Not all men. Some men, not all. I'm just saying. I agree with you. Yeah, we need to start it. We need to have this
A
conversation.
lot on. Not all, but like probably
They are trained
98%.
to be husbands. They learn how to be a good husband to the woman that they are married to. You can learn how to be a good man, but even you being a good man, that may not work for every woman that you are getting married to. One of them put a comment about, you learn how to be learn how to cook. Well, I can be a great cook, I can be a great cleaner or whatever, but if I marry a man and that's not what he's looking for in a wife, he may not care about that.
Work.
I can't say
it's not gonna
what
work.
you're talking about, I'm a good wife because I cook and I clean. He can say, like I've heard some say, I could pay somebody to do that. That ain't what I want from you. So I can't say, no, you lying, I'm a good wife because I learned how to cook and clean. I have to be a good wife to that person.
You were trained.
So
you were trained, not learned.
You can train to be a good wife or a good husband. You can be a good man, a good woman, and then once you link up with somebody, y'all can learn together how to be a good woman or a good wife and husband for each other. So,
but it kind of goes back to that conversation earlier with the 50-50.
I say trained. No, I wasn't trained to be a wife. I learned, or I'm being trained, I guess, how to be a good wife along the way.
Are we being defensive? Are we being defensive? Is that what we're doing?
I don't think we are at all.
Are we deflecting? Because that's what they're going to say. We're deflecting. Are we deflecting?
We are not. We are.
See how they want to talk. See how they want to be together, and then they want to get on each other's side.
But like it's the same way. I don't feel like Trevor was trained. I don't feel like he was for me. No, Trevor, you can't come back up. But the conversation that we just had that he wants to run back, I think that would be a good conversation. I think that's a good conversation for me to have.
I told y'all, he on the defense. I told y'all.
Trevor gonna pop in like y'all forgot I'm in charge of this.
All of a sudden, I'm gonna be talking. My mic gonna be muted. Like, why is it not working?
I know. I think he's the one that kept lagging me. Mike talked about that was God lagging me.
We said that. No, we said that. We said it was. I said it was Trevor. I told Trevor to his face. That's you. You
no,
do that to
Mike said it was God.
That is not of God. Okay. That is not of God.
I am a friend of God, and you would not do that to me. All right, y'all. We're going on 2 hours now. So we're gonna wrap this up because we have to come back tomorrow. Tawana, please join us tomorrow if you can, girl. Thank you so much for hopping on.
I will.
Tomorrow we're gonna be talking about the hunt for the black sperm, that rare black sperm that can't nobody get their hands on or get their uterus on or whatever.
We probably gonna talk about that for 2 minutes. We're gonna be on that for 2 minutes. Then we gonna be back on what
y'all was talking about how men watch porn and y'all was deflecting and God even shut y'all down. And as a female, y'all don't understand. I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right. This was a really good conversation. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up because we're almost at that 2 hour mark. So I'm gonna let each of you give your closing remarks. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, ladies. Tammy, I know you left, but thank you so much for joining. Tammy, I see you in the comments. Thank you for joining, girl. We may have to make you a permanent on this panel because I love listening to you talk. You are my girl. I appreciate you. So come on back anytime. You can officially join the panel. I would love to have you on all of our shows. So I'm going to let my beautiful panelists up here go ahead and give their closing remarks before we head out. Shaka, let's start with you.
Again, my closing remarks are basically how I close out every time I am on the Straight Talk Society, and especially for your heart out. I feel like communication is key. I feel like we don't have enough tough conversations with our loved ones, with our close friends, with strangers in the street. Like, I just feel like we don't talk about real life things and what's happening in our world today. So I will stand on that. Communication is key. Say what you mean and mean what you say.
All right. I like that. Go ahead, Breezy.
I hate that I missed the beginning of the conversation, but priorities come first. So I had to get in the sandbox with y'all a little bit late, but I always enjoy myself being with you guys.
Yes.
And I look forward to tomorrow. Look forward to talking to y'all tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow is definitely going to be fun. We're going to have to keep them on topic, though. All right, T Rock, go ahead
Thank
and
y'all
give
for
us your
having
closing
me.
remarks. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Oh gosh, thank you for having me. I promise to be a little bit more present. Uneasy conversations are necessary. And I love being a part of uneasy conversations. And with that being said, y'all will see a lot more of me.
Yes, you are awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And again, Tammy, yes, thank you for joining us. You are always welcome up here, Tammy. So whenever we have a show, I will definitely drop that link and you can join us. You can even join us tomorrow night if you want, where we're going to be talking about the hunt for a black sperm. If you have not heard, Debrat and her wife, Jessica, Debrat, she's pregnant, and they talked about, how it was difficult for them to find black sperm, so they ended up having to go with other sperm to have their babies, and then that was a whole debacle all up in the social media streets. So we're just going to be focusing on that part about why is there such a lack of black sperm, for those of us who may need to go that route using the sperm banks, and we want to have African American children. We want to spread our culture and all of that, but it's difficult finding that black sperm. So that's what we're going to be talking about on tomorrow. All right, ladies, I'm going to go ahead and put you backstage while I close us out. Thank you again so much for joining me. I always love having you ladies here. And I'll see you tomorrow night. And, we'll be inside of the chat talking about what went down tonight. So, yeah, I'll see y'all later.
Bye, y'all. Thank you again.
Oh, my gosh. All righty. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. This was an amazing conversation. You see, I let my husband get me all out of my little sweet and innocent character and get me all riled up. Trevor, you did that on purpose. Don't do that again. All right. I love you, though. All right. Thank you all for joining us tonight for another episode of Black Women's Honest Conversations. Pour your heart out, where we bring together beautiful Black women with different opinions and experiences throughout life. We come together and we just talk. Normally we have set topics of what we're going to talk about, but I wanted to try something new tonight. I wanted to step outside of my comfort zone and just bring some ladies together, anybody that was available, and just talk about a bunch of different things. And I think it went well. So we're going to do this more often. Please join us tomorrow night, where we are going to be chopping it up with our brothers from the oh my gosh, Straight Talk Society. The men, they're going to come over and we're going to be talking about the hunt for black sperm. And then on next week, we are going to be at it again, just the ladies, where we are going to be talking about, those jealous friends, are they really friends? Girl, she just don't like you. You have that friend where you have good news and she's looking at you all side eye. We're going to be talking about that on next week. All right. But until then, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Continue to pour your heart out and continue to just share your story and let your voice be heard. So until next time, cheers. Pour your heart out, share your story. Thank you for joining us. Also, please make sure to like and subscribe. Share this if you joined us late. Please make sure that you head on back and watch it from the beginning, because you don't want to miss this. All right. So good night.
And that's a wrap for another episode of Pour Your Heart Out, Black Women's Honest Conversations.